Hey guys, Unati here. So this is the video. I am going to be spilling everything about engineering. I'm talking about salaries, I'm talking about how I got into it, and finally my decision to actually quit engineering. I will be speaking on all the engineering disciplines that I've been personally involved in. That's not much, it's just electrical and electronics engineering. Electrical part of it is high voltage engineering. So yes, I did work for the National Power Regulator, which is ESCOM. Oh, my second experience working as an electronics engineer was at Microsoft. So Microsoft hired me to be part of their telecommunications team, and they placed me in a small company called Mapra IT Solutions. So in that company, what I was responsible for was telemetrics, telecommunications equipment. But unfortunately, or fortunately for me, the company pivoted and they hired me to be a machine learning engineer. So doing some image processing as well as creating some machine learning algorithms for facial recognition, car recognition, as well as number plate recognition. I actually got into machine learning by mistake. One of my colleagues was actually a computer scientist and he had been dabbling in some image processing. He was basically the gateway to me learning machine learning. Shout out to you, Michael. So he essentially basically brought me into the machine learning space and taught me about convolutional neural networks and introduced me to TensorFlow. That's when I got into machine learning. I was there at Mapro. I solely worked on number plate recognition. I worked on car recognition as well as facial recognition. For an entry-level telecommunications engineer, I was earning 32,000 rands cost to company. Unfortunately, this does not include benefits, so you have to basically take out your own medical aid, you have to take out your own annuity or retirement annuity or pension. You had the responsibility to do that yourself. So unfortunately, that's what happens when you're being placed in a smaller company. But afterwards, after taxes, I think I earned something like 25,000 rands. So I put away 7,500 rands for my retirement. I was on a medical aid called BestMed, which was about 1,200 rands at that time. So essentially I was left with quite a bit of money afterwards, which I saved, of course. Then later on bought a house and a car. Those were my two main focuses for the 2 years that I was working at Microsoft. After thereon, I went to the CSIR. Obviously, they gave me an offer to actually move there, and I also wanted to move there because I wanted to enhance and hone my skills as a researcher. Once I got to Microsoft, this is the offer that they gave me. Yeah. But 6 years old at CSIR, and I was earning that much. So, yeah guys, that's how much you earn as an entry-level radar signal processing engineer at the CSIR. I'm sure a lot of my colleagues there would be surprised that that's how much I used to earn. But yeah, no, that's how much you used to earn. So basically when you're trying to find jobs, look for jobs that see value in what you do. Make sure that you look for jobs that has a bit of software engineering as well as some electronics if you want to get into the electronics engineering space. Don't just go for jobs that ask purely for in electronics background because they don't pay very much. But when you do some signal processing as well as some electronics, you might get jobs that offer that much or even higher. Once I was finished there at the CSIR, I went on to be a contractor as well. Let's back up. When I was at the CSIR, I enrolled in a master's in radar signal processing. So many jobs out there want, especially research jobs, want a master's degree. You can't do research without a master's degree, unfortunately. To do research that will contribute at the level of the CSIR, a master's is essential. So I'm thinking that you guys should look at it this way. If you want a career in the digital signal processing space, if you want a career in the electronic space, make sure that you learn field programmable logic gates. Essentially, those FPGA boards can be used to mimic any type of processor that needs a very fast computing. So FPGAs are very, very quick. And the language that you need to program these FPGAs in is called VHDL. So that's the language that you're going to program FPGAs in. And when you're looking for a job, write something like FPGA in the title of the job. FPGA, look for those current trades, and those are the jobs that basically pay a lot. FPGA programming with VHDL. So in the electronic space, I would seriously recommend you guys do FPGAs, and if you want to do another language or want to learn another language, C and C++ are really, really big languages in the electronic space because you are talking directly to the hardware. And when you're doing that, your programs become faster, so your application becomes real time. So even radar signal processing, C, C++ are really, really big because they allow engineer to actually write really, really fast programs. So that's how much I used to earn at the CSIR, and that's how much I used to earn at Microsoft. So here's the big thing. When I was looking for a job with a master's degree this time, I was offered... Wait, so before we get to that, I need to tell you about another opportunity that I was given whilst I was looking for a job in January 2021. So it wasn't January 2021, it was March 2021. That's when I was in full swing looking for a job. I had prepared my CV to meet the market. Yes, make sure that your CV is tailored to the job that you want to get. Don't just have a generic CV. Make sure that your CV speaks to job requirements of the job that you're applying for. You have to make sure that it is tailored to that job, because the automatic algorithm that HR departments use look for keywords. So it does keyword analysis and tries to see if the keywords that are matching in the job description also are found in your CV. If they're not found, unfortunately, your CV will be rejected without even being scanned by humans or human eyes, essentially. So make sure that your CV matches the job description and you tailor-make the CV for every job you apply to, every single job. And you might find that you would have a higher chance of actually being called in for an interview. So we'll talk about interviews a bit later. Right now, I just want to tell you about an opportunity that I got to be a data scientist. Yes, I got an opportunity to be a data scientist March 2021, this year, essentially. So why didn't I take that offer? Well, it's a bit of a hectic story. So I applied for this job at a company called Ilarion AI. So they're trying to create sort of like a next-gen telemarketers. So basically your robocallers, but not the one that calls, but ones that receives calls. So they're trying to automate call centers. They are trying to automate call centers. So those call center jobs that some people are looking out for, they'll be gone. Callers or robo call center agents are coming. This company specifically works with another company called Constellation AI. So they basically create those algorithms or those robots that basically will answer people's calls. So they wanted to create one of those call center agents for the South African market. Now, obviously, you know that South Africa has a lot of accents and a lot of different dialects and things like that. So when we speak English with our own accents. So it's often regionalized, like English spoken in KZN has a heavy Zulu accent underpinning it, and English spoken in Gauteng is much different from the English spoken in Limpopo province. But you need to create an AI that will be able to pick up all these different accents and be able to basically respond to the query that the person is of, but also do it in a timely manner, literally in real time. So that's where basically I would come in. I would basically be listening to these calls, basically cleaning up these voices, categorizing them, making sure that the data is ready for the AI to be trained on. So essentially it would have been grunt work. It was a junior data scientist post after all. So why didn't I take this offer? I had already been given another offer at the finance gig that I'm currently at. So the offer was this much. Yeah, that's how much they offered me for a junior post in data science. This is the email that they sent me. As you can see, that their offer was real, but it was a 3-month contract. The reason why they do this is that the company is actually registered in the UK, but everybody in South Africa is a contractor. So I would have to be given a 3-month contract. It was also sort of like a probationary thing. So they give me a 3-month contract. After that 3 months, if we were working well within the company, then they extended it to be a year's contract. And then obviously they will be renewing that contract on a year-on-year basis. So not much stability in that job, but I would have worked with one of the greatest data scientists and software engineers in the world. Another guy from Italy, I think, I forgot his name right now, but I'll sure to plug it over here. Yeah, so I was working with I would have worked with really talented people and would have learned a lot about data science. I didn't choose that post specifically because I wanted to go into finance specifically. I wanted to learn about how investment banks work. So that's a topic for the next video, but this video, that is how much I was offered for a junior data science post. So you can see that the starting salary for a junior scientist post is about that much, or at least 40,000 rands for somebody with at least 5 years experience. Yeah. It's not much, but it's at least something, you know. Actually a master's degree in computer science. So, okay, let me not get ahead of myself. Can you be a data science without an engineering degree or a computer science degree? Yes, you can. But in South Africa, most of the time, they need you to have at least a quantitative degree. Even if it is just a computer science degree or if it's just a BSc in physics or something. So a solid foundation that they can say, oh, this person has a university training and has some quantitative skills that they learned in university. I know that there are other companies out there that offer short one-year courses in data science and they teach you everything about data science. Yes, you can get those jobs, but most of the time you're gonna be earning about 25 to 30,000 rands. After you've had about 3 to 5 years experience, you'll be earning about 25,000 rand. When you're starting out, you most likely going to be earning like 20,000 rands, 18,000 rand, something like that, with just the 1 year qualification. And those qualifications can be expensive. I think 1 year, it's about 30,000 rands for Explore AI Data Academy. 30,000 rands where they teach you about real software, no, not real software, but real data science or data engineering posts. So they have courses for data engineering, courses for being a data scientist. Those are really good courses because they teach you the fundamentals of Python programming, they teach you the fundamentals of data visualization, how to gather data, how to clean your data. These are really important things in data science. These companies do give you a solid foundation in data science and data analytics, but I wouldn't say that after these programs you are a data scientist, because being a data scientist is a bit more involved than just doing a 1 year degree. Being a data scientist is hard. I think this video is getting too long and I need to just get to the crux of the matter. How much was I offered in my last engineering post? 65,000 rands. That was my last offer to get into engineering. I'm sure this will be the title of the video anyways. But yeah, 65,000 rand was the last offer I got to be in engineering, working for a company called Armscor, which is the national arms dealer. Okay, wait, let me find out what they are.